Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We start with a story coming out of Barbados. Britain's Prince Charles flew to Barbados as the Caribbean nation prepared for a celebration on Monday, marking the founding of a republic and the removal of the Queen as sovereign, cutting imperial ties some 400 years after English ships first arrived. Barbados won independence from Britain in 1966 but has retained Queen Elizabeth as its official sovereign. She will be replaced with a Barbadian president in an inauguration ceremony to be held when the country celebrates independence on Tuesday. Prince Charles will deliver a speech just after midnight on Tuesday, saying that much of the relationship between the two nations will remain the same, including the, I quote, myriad connections between the people of our countries through which flow admiration and affection, cooperation and opportunity, end of quote. It will mark the first time in 3 decades that the Queen is removed as head of state. The celebration will begin late Monday and extend into Tuesday when Sandra Mason will be inaugurated as the country's first president to serve as a largely symbolic figure behind Prime Minister Mia Mottley. And now we tell you that hours after the World Health Organization (WHO) declared the newly identified coronavirus variant Omicron as a variant of concern, Trinidad and Tobago has announced restrictions to entry for travelers from 7 African countries. According to a release from the Ministry of Health, those countries are Botswana, Eswatini, formerly Swaziland, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. Those restrictions went into place from midnight on Friday, November 26. The ministry also warned citizens against traveling to those countries where the variant has been detected. The Omicron variant was first detected in South Africa and has since been found in Botswana, Hong Kong, and Belgium. And now for some good news. Bermuda's active cases from the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic have dropped to 21, while there are no patients in the hospital with the virus for the first time in 4 months, health officials have said. The Minister of Health, Kim Wilson, said booster shots are now available for anyone 18 or older, down from the previous threshold of 50. 70% of the population have now been doubly vaccinated, passing the government's original goal by the end of May, while just under 17% have received a booster, Wilson said. Active COVID-19 cases have reached a peak of 1,612 in September. Bermuda's COVID-19 death toll stands at 106. And finally, internationally, South Africa's president has condemned travel bans enacted against his country and its neighbors over the new coronavirus variant Omicron. Cyril Ramaphosa said he was, I quote, deeply disappointed, end of quote, by the action which he described as unjustified and called for the bans to be urgently lifted. The UK, EU, and US are among those who have imposed travel bans. Omicron has been classed as a variant of concern. Early evidence suggests it has a higher reinfection risk. The heavily mutated variant was detected in South Africa earlier this month and then reported to the World Health Organization (WHO) last Wednesday. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining.